Hello, this is Cinema Cantina back again, and I am Rocky Kari.
Hey guys, it's Nathan Rapaka.
And today we're going to be reviewing the one, the only, The Godfather.
Sorry for our long layoff. We had break, so we weren't really together. We're back now for, I think this is a review we've been looking forward to, talking about one of the greatest films of all time, Godfather. For our viewers who don't know much about Godfather, this movie is pretty much about the Italian mob. About the Italian mob family and around the time periods like the 1940s. So it's around the World War II time.
Yeah.
And this is when like Italian mobs were most relevant, around the 40s. The setting is in New York City, and most specifically it's Italian crime families. So it's about the Italians. So this movie follows the Corleone family. This follows the Godfather, Vito Corleone. He is the head of the Corleone crime family, so he heads all the operations, what they're into.
But something I wanted to point out before we keep going with the plot is that the Corleone family is a fictional family, but everything that happens to the Corleone family is all the stuff that they do regarding their crime business is very inspired by real life Italian mafias. Yeah,
what Rocky was saying, the whole Godfather trilogy is inspired by the actual mafia.
Yeah.
These things actually do happen, but it's fictionalized. Also, another tidbit before we go more into the plot. This movie is an adaptation of a book made by Mario Puzo, who is the one who wrote the book, The Godfather.
Yeah.
So it is actually adapted from the book, The Godfather.
And disclaimer, I have not read the book. Have you read the book?
I have not read the book, but that's a little thing I want to talk about it. And Ford Coppola actually went to Puzo and they decided to make a feature film out of it. So that's how Godfather actually started.
Yeah.
So more into the plot. I guess I went over the crime family. You want to go more into the Michael?
So we have Vito Corleone, who is the head, who is called the Godfather of the Corleone family, and he has 3 sons and 1 adopted son, and the 3 sons are Sonny, Fredo, and Michael, and the 4th adopted is Tom Hagen.
Tom Hagen.
And
Consigliere.
And Sonny is the oldest in the family, so he is technically next in line to become the Godfather.
And Sonny is also known as the hothead of the family.
Yeah, gets mad very easily. And then Michael Corleone wants nothing to do with the family, and he decides to enlist in the army. We find that out in his character introduction.
And the thing with Michael is he's very innocent to start out this movie.
Yes, very innocent.
And even in some of the shots in the film, you'll see a very different side when it comes to Michael and Sonny. You see Sonny's his facial reactions are more uptight. He's very angry.
That's true. That's a very good point.
He's very fire, but Michael's innocent. He's a war veteran. He's a hero.
Yeah, that's true.
You can get into
but
Fredo.
So and then Fredo, he's kind of stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say the Jar Jar of the movie. Not the Jar Jar, but
he's a great character.
That's a stretch.
But I think what you mean by Jar Jar is that the audience does not like him. The audience hates him. And
Fredo is throughout the series, he's more of the scapegoat, I would say.
True, yeah.
And the funny thing is he's one of the oldest brothers, so it's kind of
second oldest, Second
oldest son, he's number 1. So.
Yeah. And then the 4th son is Tom Hagen, who was adopted, and he is a very loyal member of the family as consigliere.
Yes, Tom Hagen, I would say throughout the Godfather 1 and 2, he's not in 3 by the way.
Yeah.
So Godfather 1 and 2, he's definitely the second important character I would say throughout the series.
Very true.
I would say Michael, then Tom, because those two are always together. They're always doing things. Tell the family. Tom Hagen was actually, so when he was younger, actually Vito found him on the street.
Yeah.
Another fact is Tom Hagen is not Sicilian or Italian. He is, I think he's just straight white Jewish. So he's not a part of Italian blood. So that's another important thing.
But I think what everyone loves about his character is how loyal he is always to the family.
He is definitely the most loyal in the family.
Even though he's not by blood a Corleone, he is a Corleone.
He is a Corleone.
Yeah. Yep. But I think we should give our opinion now and then go over the plot.
Yeah. So basically, my opinion of Godfather, I love this movie. With me, this movie is in my top 5. If you're on IMDb, it's right now number 2. IMDb top 250, and actually 3 is Godfather 2.
Yeah.
So it's a very good movie. To me, Rocky might have some tidbits of it, like flaws,
Just very
very
little.
like minute flaws with it. But I think this is one of the most perfect movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And being clocked in at 3 hours long, this movie. It's a very entertaining movie. Like, this movie keeps you very entertained.
Yes, agreed.
And the suspense in this movie.
Oh yeah, especially when Michael has to kill the two guys. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Michael has to kill. We'll get into that with Salazzo. And so pretty much this movie has no flaws. I love the pacing.
Oh yeah,
paced perfectly.
Pacing is very good.
Very good. I mean, the soundtrack,
Oh, the soundtrack is incredible, yeah.
The violin playing. The Godfather theme is very beautiful. And also, definitely, the cinematography is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Photography, like, the set. I mean, this was actually some of the movies filmed in Sicily.
Yeah.
So it's very realistic.
The set and the costume design, everything about how it looks. I feel like, I was actually thinking about this morning. I love how, I think the reason that The Godfather is one of the there's many reasons, but one of the main reasons is that Godfather is one of the greatest films of all time, is that it takes all these aspects of film, acting, directing, cinematography, story, characters, all of that comes together in like the best way possible. And like,
totally.
I think it just excels in every single category. Yeah, same. I totally agree with you. Overall, I think this movie is incredible. There's a couple little flaws I have about the plot, but they're very minute. Overall, like, if like gun to my head, if I had to rate this movie, I would still say 10 out of 10.
I give Godfather 1 out of 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10, no question.
Like, and the other thing about this movie is when Ford Coppola, I was actually watching a documentary on this. Ford Coppola's casting call. Michael Corleone was not even supposed to be. Yeah. Al Pacino was not even supposed to be cast as he was supposed to be. De Niro as Michael Corleone. I did not know if you knew that.
Yeah, I read about that like a couple years ago.
He was supposed to actually be Michael Corleone, but they did a cast call, and Al Pacino ended up winning, and for Godfather 2, he got back as Vito.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. A lot of no names in this film. For this first film, actually no. James Caan was pretty popular then. I know that. Robert Duvall was he was good at that time. He's trying to get in. And
then Marlon Brando was a legend. Yeah.
I mean, legend. He was actually, I think, around 45 during this role. So I mean, he's relatively young. This was one of his last, great flicks. Before he got really fat and just wasn't Brando anymore.
Yeah,
but
wasn't Brando.
Yeah, but exceptional acting in this movie. Brando definitely. I mean, the acting by Brando is just
phenomenal. Yeah, all the acting by everyone is just incredible. But of course, we'll go over each part of each character as we go through the plot. But I think overall we both love this movie. Now let's get into like the nitty gritty of it, the plot and the analysis of it. Sure. So the movie starts out and we're at Connie's wedding, and actually that's not how it starts. It starts out with the Godfather being asked a favor by a friend.
So basically Godfather, he not only does he go out and does all his business, he has favors from his friends. Mm-hmm. So whenever someone's in trouble, they come to the Godfather, ask for help.
Because he's a very powerful
person who can help him. And usually it's like free of charge, and he's a very I would say Vito Corleone, for being a Godfather, yes, he's ruthless, obviously, but he's humane and very humble.
And very honorable.
Very honorable Godfather. He's one of the less I would say not treacherous at all. He is treacherous, but he's not. It's funny because what they're doing is bad technically.
Yeah, but there's like the phrase "honor among thieves."
Yeah. Like, he's like the Robin Hood, I would say. Yeah. So we start out pretty much. Actually, you can just go through this first.
Okay, yeah.
Scene,
so the first scene. Yeah, the first scene is a man asking Vito Corleone for a favor, and I think starting out the movie like this is incredible with that
priest,
with that long shot of him talking.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, he's a priest. Yeah. But I just love it because you see how he's like, it gives you a taste of how the Corleone family's business operates, and you really get into the movie. And also, what I love. The scenes in his room are very dark, and then you go out to the party, and you see like the outside of Italian, the like stereotypical Italian.
Yeah, and on that, when the room in the dark, when Ford Coppola directed this movie too, I really like how they have like kind of a spotlight on the person who's speaking. They have a spotlight on him. Everything around him is dark.
Yeah,
and all you see in the background are the shadows of his like goons and stuff.
Yeah,
they're just there. Another thing is in these scenes. I don't know. We'll talk about this, but they always give him a shot of alcohol. Did you realize that?
They give a shot to the priest, but do they give a shot to the singer? I forget his name.
They do.
They do, really.
They give it to him, and they give it to Carlo at the end. A shot because he's crying. I don't know if that. I guess it's some way to make him calm.
Ah, that's cool though. That's a
cool.
nice touch. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's
you
cool.
can continue with the wedding scene.
So and then we're seeing Connie's wedding, and we see the stereotypical like Italian party family type
also thing. And by the way, for this scene, this is the longest scene in cinema history by sequence wise.
Really?
It's 20 minutes long.
I did not know that.
The wedding sequence is 20 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So it's one of the long. I think it is. It broke it. Another thing about the wedding is you get the sense of the culture.
Yes.
Ford Coppola's trying to portray. It's not just about the business, but why the Italians are so honorable. Why they are so loyal.
Because it comes down to family.
It comes down to family. Yeah. You'll see the family, the music, the cheering, the food, the wine.
I think one of my favorite parts is that, and of course, like you don't even need to know Italian to appreciate Italian music. When they bring Vito Corleone's wife to the stage and she sings, like how can you not be like happy and
like you're just so happy and enjoying Clemenza getting drunk with wine. Give me some more wine, Polly. It's just, it's just those little things. I just like how he makes you feel warm to start out the movie.
And also it introduces all the characters very well. We get the introduction of Vito as the ruthless but honorable mob boss. We get Sonny with him breaking the camera of the guy. We see his anger and how how much of a temper he has. We see Michael when he enters the party and with his wife who's she has the American sunflower dress. Who else do we? Oh, we get Tom Hagen. We see how
he's professional. He's a lawyer. To talk about the characters in the scene. Also another thing is we also see Sonny's. You could tell Sonny is the most sinful person. I would say cheats on his wife.
Yep, we do see that.
He does cheat on his wife. He's very angry. You see Tom Hagen. He's the lawyer. He's sophisticated.
Yeah. Well, they are kind of like opposites, yeah.
Yeah, and while Michael, he's very cool. He doesn't really want to be there, but he has to be there. And you could tell he's very Americanized, Michael. Do you kind of see that?
Yes, I did kind of feel that,
just that stature of him wearing his army suit proudly and his NK.
He sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, he sticks out like a thumb throughout the whole... Well, throughout the first half, I would say, till we get to the
second
big
half,
restaurant scene.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one more thing to talk about with Sonny. In one of the scenes, when Sonny's done having an intimate scene with his lover, or the affair, comes in the room, and Vito's talking to one of the people he wants to ask favor, and he says something like, a man who doesn't take care of his children or has honor is not an honorable man, and turns like this to Sonny.
Yeah. He knows.
He knows. So it's very reminiscent of, telling his son, you're not honorable, but I am, because I'm a family man. I care about my wife, my kids.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out.
Yeah, no, that is cool. I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say how I love, and I think you can show this scene and then show the final scene of the movie when Michael says when he's telling about what it means by I'll make him an offer he can't refuse, and then he says,
scene.
and then he says that's my family, not me. You're like, oh, okay. But then by the end, you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, so this wedding scene pretty much brings all the characters together, shows the Corleone family. We also see one of the other families, the Talia families, there as well.
They are there, yeah.
And you could see you could tell there's a little bit of a shakeup going on there. Something's about to go down.
Yeah.
So we're done with the wedding scene now.
One quick thing I wanted to mention about the wedding is that I love... when they're about to take the picture, and then Vito says, "Where's Michael?"
We gotta wait for Michael.
We gotta that just amplifies how much of a family man he is. But
and I think when Coppola's making this movie too, he's Italian as well. Everybody, Coppola's a hardcore Sicilian. I just love how he just incorporates the culture. Of the Godfather, of the Italians. I think he's very proud of his heritage and culture. So want to put that out there. So. Pretty much, I'll get into the second scene. Yeah. Pretty much. After this scene, we have everything that's going on, Michael and everything. Finally, they meet with Sollazzo.
Yes.
Yes, Sollazzo. So Sollazzo actually, he is kind of like I would say like a gang member of the Talia family.
The Talia family.
The Talia family, and
for the throughout the movie, I was like, wait, is he a part of the
family?
But he's not. He's just an agent.
He's not. He's
them,
like kind of like an agent, like an informant.
Yeah, informant.
And he meets with the Corleone family, Vito, Sonny, and Tom. They want to get him into narcotics. And if you guys know with the honorable man thing, Vito's very old. He's old style. You know, he does not want to do narcotics because
it's a dirty business.
It's a very dirty business.
Well, dirtier.
It's dirtier for sure because this is like selling drugs to kids. And even in one scene, he talks about how, you know, I don't want any of this to get with the kids, you know?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
that's
narcotic, that's why it's the dirty part of it. Because
gotcha.
narcotics really does ruin your life, you know?
Yeah, that's true,
about selling narcotics, and Vito decides to decline, but Tom Hagen and Sonny wanted it, actually. Yeah. Because it is very big money going on then.
That's true. And I do love this part in this scene where Sonny interrupts, and then Vito's like, I apologize for my son for speaking out of turn.
Vito basically roasts Sonny. His Sonny, like, what are you doing, you know? Like, he's just like, what are you doing? And you can
never speak out of turn,
Never speak out of turn against someone. And then we get into probably one of the craziest scenes in this movie. So, pretty much after Salazzo is gone, we get into the shooting of Vito Corleone.
Well, actually, before that,
we have
Vito tells Luca Brasi to go spy on them.
Luca Brasi to spy on the Italians. Sorry, I'll get into that.
Yeah. To see what they're doing.
So Luca Brasi's his number one henchman, number one hitman, whatever. He's his most loyal guy. So Luca Brasi does end up going to the Italia. I think it's like a bar hotel scene.
Yes,
it's in their lair.
Like a bar,
and they go in, and then all of a sudden they try to. I think they know what's happening, obviously, and they try to get Luca to the Italia, pay him more money.
Yeah.
And Salazzo's actually there. But Luca ends up backfiring on him, and once he's turned his back, someone comes behind him and ends up
choking him
out, and there goes Luca Brasi.
And then they send the fish, sleeps with the fishes later.
But that's later in the
film, right? True,
yeah. So they do that. I thought it was really cool how they did that, put it in his like bodyguard suit.
Yeah, but also the deaths in this movie are also really brutal. You're just like, dang. And also we forgot to mention about the famous or infamous horse scene when Tom Hagen goes to California because and that scene is fantastic because it just shows how, like we said, how ruthless Vito Corleone is. Like he is literally gonna make them an offer they cannot refuse.
And the thing with that's actually a good scene. I'm sorry we forgot to put it out there, guys, but that scene is very important because this is kind of like the tutorial of the Corleone family from things come. It's not an important scene as far as the movie goes, but it's important.
It's establishment.
It's establishment of who this guy is. He's not playing games, guys.
Exactly.
So to run by that scene, it'll be really quick. So basically, the Godfather, he has kind of like, I would say, kind of like a nephew/son figure. What's Vincent? Not Vincent. I
forget his name. He's the singer.
I forgot his name. He's like the Frank Sinatra of this.
Yeah, he's basically Frank Sinatra.
So he's like in movies, he's a singer, and he wants us to be in this big budget movie. But this producer doesn't want him because he messed with this girl apparently and took her singing position. Yeah. So Tom Hagen goes to Cali, Hollywood Studios, just talks to him, and he's like, he'll never be in any of my movies. Then all of a sudden he tells him, well, I work for the Corleone family. Invites him to dinner. Everything's going well until the dinner table scene where he's eating, and he just tells him he'll never get anything. Yeah. And then Tom Hagen just says, okay, well, Vito Corleone likes hearing these things quickly so he can act on it. Yeah. And you want to talk about when he wakes up?
Yeah, and like, I just think this scene is like one of the most iconic scenes in the Godfather trilogy.
Oh, yeah. And they show the horse beforehand.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good like touch that they showed it so you would know. But like, I think that scene is so dark when like he sees the blood and then like like the slow reveal of the horse head,
and then the music is playing. It's like no.
It's classic. Yeah.
And he just yells, and you just see that bloody horse head. Another from it, that was a real horse. So
really?
It was not a dummy. It's a real horse head.
Oh my!
Research that. Yeah, it's a real.
Coppola is insane sometimes.
Yeah, Coppola is insane. So it was a real horse head. That scene was so brutal, man.
Oh yeah.
I literally was fearing. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, I was creeped out. But and also I love how after that scene we don't get like a phone call or anything. We just see the balloons.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Hagen shows Vito the balloons, like, oh, he got the role. Yeah. That's all we get. Like, we don't get it. I just think that's a nice touch. Yeah. But then now we can go to we'll fast forward to after Luca Brasi dies, and then the Tattaglia family thinks that Vito sent Luca Brasi, I guess for
negotiation.
I don't say negotiations, but like for evil reason, for evil intentions obviously. Against the Tattaglia family.
Yeah, he just wants to get some information.
Yeah. So the Tattaglia family gets pissed by that and decides to go guns blazing against Vito Corleone and try to assassinate him.
So that scene, we see Vito, he's in like a grocery store getting some
marketplace.
It's like an Italian marketplace.
Yeah.
He's getting oranges, and then from the backside you see two suit guys come. And Vito run just shoot him down.
Yeah, that was that scene is also crazy
and,
too.
He just ends up falling down. And when we go back to Fredo, the stupid Fredo who does not act on it. And he's actually the driver.
Yeah, dude. And he was just standing there.
He had his gun. He was shaking.
Oh yeah. I was just so pissed at him because he's just standing there. I'm like.
And so Fredo's just crying, and that's where we get that stupidity. Fredo, why no one really respects him, and right there, he was very careless with his father, and didn't really protect him in that situation. Protect him, And do you want to talk about? Okay, so actually, I can.
Yeah.
So Sollozzo, he's just kind of. Tom Hagen, he's going Christmas shopping, I guess.
Yeah.
And Sollozzo stops him and
kidnaps him in the car.
You can talk. About
and
that.
then he kidnaps him in the car, and then what does he tell? What does Sollozzo tell Tom Hagen?
So they're in this dark shed, and pretty much he just tells Tom Hagen that the Corleone family is dead. Without Vito.
He tells him Vito's dead. And then Michael at this time has not talked to the family because he's too busy with Kay. And then, but he sees on the newspaper that Vito is. Well, actually, he says it doesn't say if he's dead or alive, but critically injured. Yeah. And then I feel like this was one of the big moments where he was just like, I need to help my family in this sense. Yeah. And then we get the whole scene with the hospital. And
very good scene,
that was a good. That's very intense. Yeah.
Very intense scene. Very suspenseful.
with him trying to protect his father, make sure he's okay. That's so creepy when he walks in and there's no one there.
And the other thing and I was saying this, this movie's not even supposed to be a suspenseful movie. When they go on The Godfather, they think action. Yeah. But let me just tell you this. This movie's one of the most suspenseful films I've seen.
Agreed, yeah.
Like, that hospital scene, he's going in alone. You just hear the music.
Yeah, dude, it's so, eerie,
it's creepy. Like, and hospital, no one's there. It's always a creepy
vibe
in it.
But, and then after that whole scene, he goes back home, and then he talks to Sonny and Tom Hagen, and, I think Fredo's there too, but, he basically, it's that whole one shot of him talking about the plan of how someone will plant the gun and then he'll kill them both. And I just love how everyone just starts laughing and Sonny's like, you gotta go bada big and you get all the blood on your $1,000 suit or whatever.
They're all laughing at Michael because he just he came up with this idea and he's not really in the family business.
Yeah.
And the thing with that is everyone thinks he's just mad because the captain,
the police captain punches him after the hospital
punches him after the hospital scene. So when he says that, everyone's like laughing, but Michael's dead serious though.
Yeah, does not.
Michael is not laughing. He's just sitting there like, let's do this. And then finally we get into the scene where Clemenza showing him how to shoot the gun. To drop it. I think that's really funny. Yeah, Clemenza, man, great.
We didn't talk about that. Clemenza's always very he's like
a comedian.
He's funny, but he's always there for the family, which is cool. But
he's very ruthless too.
Oh yeah, true.
Clemenza is definitely one of the most ruthless characters in this movie. Yeah. He's a big guy, but he's very funny when he does it too. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy, and we'll talk about a scene, something to do with cannolis later.
You can talk about that. Yeah. Well, first I wanted to ask you a question. What do you think is the reason that Michael was so adamant on killing these two guys? I think one of the reasons is because the police officer punched him, but I think it's more because of his father.
I think it's the father. Michael definitely loves his father.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. He might be very innocent, this and that, but
he's still a family man.
Yeah, he's still a family man. He loves fight. He wants this for his father. But I also feel this is the turning point of his whole life.
Yeah.
This pretty much is, the deed he does after this scene is just pretty much the end of his like normal life.
You can't go back. Yeah.
He can't go back ever. And that's what Clemenza's saying to him, Tom Hagen. They're all telling me, you realize once you do this,
there's no going back.
There's no going back. And mind you, Vito's unconscious
throughout this whole thing, so he has no say.
So he has no say what's going on with Michael. And I want everyone to know this. Vito had a plan for every one of his sons. Michael was supposed to be the political leader. He was supposed to be the lawyer, like another Tom Hagen, pretty much. And I'll talk more about that in a scene where
when they talk at the end.
When they talk about this, it's the last scene of Michael and Vito.
That's so sad.
What a beautiful scene. But first on that, so pretty much Sollozzo and Captain I forgot his name.
Let's just call him the police captain.
The police captain, yeah. So they pick him up in a car, and
before that, we get they explain how the plan's gonna work,
and
with the gun behind the toilet.
This scene is also very, I would say,
suspenseful.
If you've seen I'm talking about the scene before they go, they're eating Chinese food and whatnot, where they're sitting at the dining table, and then they get the call and everything.
Oh yeah.
This scene is, if you've watched The Godfather multiple times, you'll know it's a very sad scene because this is the last time you see Sonny. And
that's true. That is a good point.
And Sonny basically gives him a lot of motivation and tells him, you got this and whatnot. It's a very unique moment to me when he hugs his brother goodbye.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And that's it. He's never going to see Sonny again.
Yeah. And when you watch this movie again, that makes that scene even more heartbreaking because you know what happens. But and that leads me into a point I want to make where this movie is awesome to rewatch. I feel every time you rewatch it, you're always picking up on a new thing, or you always, I don't know, it feels like the movie, even though it's 3 hours, goes by so fast.
It goes by very, it's like, Wolf of Wall Street's a 3-hour movie, but that goes by very fast as well. Like, movies like that, it's easy
tough
to grasp.
It's tough to do, though, yeah. What was the next thing?
The car scene, yeah. So, they're in the car, and pretty much they frisk him, the police captain does, and he has nothing, obviously. By the way, they plant the gun in the bathroom. So
behind the toilet.
Behind the toilet. So that's where he gets the gun, if anyone was knowing. So they go to this nice little home Italian restaurant, and this scene. Man.
Oh wait, before we get to that, I love how they're driving and then they're going to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna go to a different restaurant and then he's not gonna have the gun?
Yeah.
But Al Pacino's acting, I love how he doesn't
even
Michael is very serious, and even though he sees that they're going to New Jersey, he doesn't get scared.
Yeah.
He's still very focused and everything. And then of course they turn back just to get rid of if anyone was following them.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good twist.
That was a good thing. Good twist. The back.
Yeah.
Very good scene right there. And Michael.
And then they get to the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, his acting in this movie was great. Al Pacino.
Oh yeah.
Very straight face. He's a little you could tell. He's still a little nervous, but he's just straight on the task at hand. He just knows what he needs to get in and get out. So we finally get to the dining scene, and do you want to talk about the Italian? They just speak Italian during this whole Team Sollozzo, and
why did they do that?
I think it was a way for Captain not to really know what their intentions were.
Oh,
maybe it could be, but I think it was a really good scene.
I think
it worked very well. The Italian. Everything, because you don't know what he's really saying.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
He said, "I wish we knew the translation," but I think it's a very cool scene. They're tying their culture.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool.
One day I'm gonna look up what they did say.
Yeah, what they did say, but I think it's a really cool scene. Sollozzo just has his face at him, and Michael's just being serious. He has his eye on the prize, and then the captain's just eating. No worry. And then finally he asks Sollozzo, "Hey, may I go to the bathroom?"
Yeah.
And they pat him down again, and he goes. And Michael ends up getting the gun, sits back down, and man, I love this shot. They just kind of put the camera right at Michael's face.
Yeah.
And all you hear is the background.
The train.
The train. And then Michael just looking at it, gets the gun.
Yeah.
Shoots lots on the head once, and then shoots the captain, McCluskey.
Yes,
McCluskey. In the throat.
Also, just one quick thing that I'll never forget this when I first watched the movie. When who's the fat guy?
Clemenza,
sorry, I forgot his name. When Clemenza is telling Michael what to do, he says when you come out of the bathroom, shoot them immediately.
Yeah.
He says don't. That's the first thing you should do. But instead, Michael walks in and like he gets a little nervous and he just sits back down. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was watching, I'm like, shoot him! But
but it worked well.
It worked very well because like in that scenario, you would be nervous too, and with the train, it just makes the whole moment.
But in
better.
a way, I think he wanted to see them die in his face. Like,
you think so?
I think, I that's what I think personally, because I think it was just really good. But yeah, anything could have happened at the moment. Like, yeah. So he shots him, throws the gun, and goes away, and then you get the
yeah.
And then that's pretty much like the intermission of, I would say, part one.
That is like I would say that's the intermission.
That's pretty much the intermission, and now Michael has to leave the country, and they ship him out to Sicily. Yep. And so that's kind of like the intermission of part one of the Godfather 1. Mm-hmm. And then now I think it's been like a couple of days, I guess, couple weeks, and Vito's back in the house.
Yeah. But he's still bedridden.
He's still bedridden. You can talk about like the next.
First I just wanted to say I love again the Godfather playing into the family aspect when Vito Corleone comes back home and like all of his family is there. All the little kids have the cards.
Saying, like, I love you, Grandpa.
Yeah,
at this point though, Vito is bedridden, but he can slightly talk. And then this is the scene where they break it to him how they killed Salazzo.
Yeah.
This scene is so sad sometimes to see because Sonny comes in, Tom comes in, and Vito just says, "Where's Michael? Like, where's Michael?" And so they don't want to tell him. Like, Sonny's just looking like this, and finally Sonny says, he tells him what happened, and then he just tells him to leave. Yeah. And you can just see Vito's face drop, and that's when we know Michael's life's about to be different.
Yeah, like we learned later, Vito did not want this for Michael. But and then we get all the parts of Michael in Sicily. And first of all, I love the cinematography. I'm really happy that they did film this in Sicily because it gives it a very like beautiful look. It's just gorgeous, and you can tell he's now getting into that rural Italian classic life.
He's learning his Sicilian roots, I would say.
Yes, yep.
He's getting acquainted by it again. Because this guy, he fought for America, Yeah. And I feel like he was so Americanized, but now he has a chance to
get back to his roots, like you said, yeah.
Man.
But also, I wanted to talk about his wife.
In Italy. So, yeah, Michael ends up falling in love with this beautiful Italian girl. Yeah. You want to talk more?
Yeah, I love the scene where they're talking to her dad. Yeah, and that's funny. Yeah, but I get why she is written into the plot. Like, I get why she's there to make him realize that like when she does die by the car explosion was also a really good scene. Great scene. I think it was to show that like no matter where he goes, he can't run away. Yeah. So I get that point, but like. I don't know. It felt weird that he gets married to her and then she dies and then he immediately comes back and goes back to Kay. Yeah. I thought, and then Kay takes him back. Right, that's that whole part, like that whole love story. That's one of my flaws. Like I feel like it's a little.
It's like
rushed.
A weird triangle.
It's a weird triangle. It's a weird triangle. It's weirdly.
I mean, I see why Coppola would do it, but at the same time, I do think it didn't need to be there. Like, I don't think it.
You said it did need to be there.
It didn't. Like,
you don't think so?
I think that, that scene especially, I understand it just showed like, hey, you can't run. But there's many scenes they could have done to show another thing. But I don't think it was that important as far as, having a wife and stuff. Obviously, it hurt him. Like, don't get me wrong. But I feel if they didn't have that scene, it'd still be a flawless film. Like,
That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, it's a good scene. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool how he gets acquainted with this Italian girl. Learns his roots and whatnot. She
just tragically dies,
gone, and right away, she's teaching her how to drive. Yeah. Everything. Okay, so now we're back in America.
Because so that's all the stuff that happened in Italy. But
it's been like a year, I think.
It's a year, yeah. And but in America, we got stuff going on.
So
you can talk about that.
Pretty much in America right now, there's a lot of crazy crap happening. So pretty much in America, Vito, he's getting back. Sonny's actually handling the family business now.
Because his father's...
So, as we know, Sonny is uncontrollable. He wants to get into narcotics. And he keeps pushing the envelope with Tom saying, let's do this, let's do that. But Sonny also wants to kill everyone. Mm-hmm. Sonny's like, let's plan the attack, let's do the order. And Tom and him fight a lot. They bicker. At one point, he even says, you wouldn't know about your father because you're your stepson. So they get into fights about it, and then another very brutal scene is his Connie getting abused by...
Oh, yeah, that's so sad. Her husband is such a dick. Like,
douchebag. Yeah, I hate him. And, like, Carlo.
I love the scene where they're at the dinner table, and then... He's like, he tells her to shut up, and Sonny's like, say shut up to me.
Sonny's like, never tell my sister ever again. And then it's just like, and you could tell Carlo and Sonny are starting to have this animosity and resentment, animosity and whatever. And then, man, one of the saddest scenes is when Sonny goes to his sister's house. Connie just kind of turned. He sees all the black and blue bruises. Yeah. Sonny loses it, but his sister says, calm down.
Yeah. Wait, is that that's the first time he beats her up.
First time he beats her.
The second time he gets a call.
We don't see the physicality.
Yeah.
This scene was just kind of like, oh, I came in, I saw it. And then finally, Sonny just goes berserk on Carlo.
Yeah.
Carlo's
that scene is awesome.
Yeah. Carlo's just kind of sitting out with his friends.
He deserved it.
Kids. And there's this, like, water fountain coming out. Sonny just trashes Carlo. And then finally, we get into more brutal stuff with... We see a whole sequence where...
Oh, my God. I think... that whole scene where Connie and Carlos are bickering and and he's abusing her, I think that scene is just super hard to watch.
It is very. I usually sometimes I can't watch because another tidbit, she's pregnant.
Oh yeah, true.
She's pregnant, and there's a physical scene. You see Carl getting a belt and just hitting her in the closet.
Yeah. Also, beautiful acting by both of them.
Great acting.
Yeah. Talia Shire.
Talia Shire is great. She's in the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
As well, she's a great actor.
Love Talia Shire. But they both kill it, and then it's just so sad when Sonny gets the call. You know what it is, and he's gonna destroy him.
And then finally we get to one of the saddest deaths, I think, in the first Godfather. So he's going after Carlo, stops at like a what do you call those, like checkpoints?
Toll booth?
Toll booth, yeah, toll booth. I said checkpoint, yeah. It was a toll booth, and all of a sudden you see all the toll booths shut, and you see everyone with guns.
All the guns come up, yeah.
And then Sonny just looks and just shoots Sonny, the car.
Oh yeah.
And Sonny, there's a moment where it's like at least 200 bullets going at him.
It's crazy, yeah.
It's just boom, 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 and then Sonny comes out and he's just like this, yelling, and then he falls to his death. And that's shot scene, whatever you want to call it, the highway, and then the toll booth.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
beautiful.
It's like the middle of nowhere, and it's like, oh god. But
there you see like how bad the mob is. Like, these guys, the way they kill people is just
brutal.
Crazy.
Yeah, like we said, like all the kills in this movie are so brutal. And then Tom Hagen finds out and he tells Vito, and I just love this scene because we've never seen Vito cry in the movie.
He just drops his.
He just starts bawling when he finds out his son died, and like I think that just shows like this great, powerful man. The only time we see him vulnerable is when someone in his family, when someone hurts his family. And like when you're analyzing the whole Godfather trilogy, you have to compare Vito Corleone and Michael Corleone. After Sonny dies, Vito makes the ultimate decision that I'm going to meet with all the five families, and we're gonna stop this. No more bloodshed.
That scene is another great scene.
Yeah,
it's very emotional because Vito. Everyone's just around him. There's been a lot of bloodshed.
When they're all eating.
Yeah, when they're all eating. And they're all kind of mocking Vito. Like saying he's kind of old and he doesn't share his power with anyone.
Yeah.
Vito just gets up and just talks him over, just saying, your son died. And you can tell the emotion. Passion. He's just really gritty. And finally they reconcile everyone. And Yeah, that scene. Do you want to talk anything more about?
No, I think you nailed it. Like I think it's very emotional. You really feel for
there's
them.
a lot of tearjerkers in this movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Marlon Brando's acting really just like
excels in every scene he's in.
It's very hard to see this scene. And then finally Michael's fully back.
Yeah. And then at this point it there's a little bit of a time skip. It's like a year or two, and he meets with Kay,
and then she's a teacher, I think.
Yeah, I think, and then she takes him back. That's one of the flaws I have. She's just like, yeah, he's just like
I can see, but at the same time,
she was really in love with him.
It's a movie.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I wish it was a little more.
No, not every movie's gonna have that one cheesy scene where.
Yeah, it's like love conquers all.
And we talked about that in Star Wars too. There's that cheesy love scene.
Yeah,
they have that cheesy scene, but so he comes back, and now you can see Michael's face from the first. I want everyone to do this when you see The Godfather. Look for the first act of the film when Michael's innocent, his face, his hair.
Yeah.
Just look at his facial structure and how he dresses. The second act of the film, you see that fire, anger. Yeah. His hair is slicked back now. Yep. It's very different. It's very slick. It's very.
He's wearing the suits and
wearing the suits now. He's turning into Vito now. This is where he's finally getting to the business. At first, so basically,
Wait, I have a question for you because this is something I wanted to talk to you about.
Sure.
What do you think was one of the moments that, or one of the reasons that once he comes back to Italy, comes back from Italy, that he starts working in the family business?
I think he's motivated by his father for sure, and I think he's just trying to really help him. I think he realizes, this is my only path now. I think he just got himself into it.
Okay.
He had no choice, and I think once he kills Salazzo McCluskey, it just comes from like saying, this is who I am. I'm a Corleone.
Yeah.
I cannot get away from
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
And I just think it's kind of the blood factor where he's just like, I'm gonna have to help my father. My brother's dead. Where the Corleone, as of now, Corleone family, they're the best. Now they're going down. Like, they don't have the power.
That's true.
As they used to. So Michael has to be legitimate again, the Corleone family. So that's Michael's plan. So, yeah. So that's why, I think that's why Michael does it. How about you, Roger?
No. The reason, what I thought was that, because he realized that, like you said, that, he cannot run away from this. After killing those two guys for his father, he can't run away from it.
And that's the thing, too. Like, all these guys, like Sonny, Fredo, Michael, Tom Hagen, they all got into the business. They're Corleones. I feel like if Michael died, if Tom had to be the Godfather, he would do it. Because it's just, he has to. Like, otherwise, that's it. Their family is nothing.
Yeah.
And everyone would come after them.
Mm-hmm. But after that, we get to the next part of the movie where Michael is slowly moving assets to Las Vegas. Yes. And as he's doing that, he's prepping for something but we don't know. And then
you'll find out.
Yeah, and then we get the scene where Michael and Vito talk.
Before that scene, I want to say something else. So when Michael's starting out as the interim Godfather, you can say, there's one scene where they're all in the room, Tessio, Clemenza, Tom, and he talks to them. He's changing the roles. Tom is no longer the concierge.
Oh yeah.
So this scene's very important because you see the change of power. Yes. And they're all kind of not liking Michael's ideas. You could tell. There's like
they're kind of like
And then Clemenza keeps going to Vito like Godfather.
And Vito's like if you have any questions,
ask Michael. Yeah. And he's just kind of rolling around, showing like he's sick.
Yeah.
And Michael's just straightforward. And the crazy thing about this is, when it comes to business, it's business. When it's family, it's family. Tom Hagen's family. But Michael did it, though, because he felt it was the right thing. And you could tell he's just serious.
Yeah.
And the difference between, I think, Michael and Vito, Michael is way more serious. I think Michael has this grit about him. And, it's, yes, Vito's scary. Michael's scarier. Michael has, this seriousness about him, facial structure that just strikes me as someone...
I feel like he's in the middle of Vito and Sonny. Where he still has that little bit of that temper.
A little bit of a temper. Well, we see that in Godfather, too. Michael's temper goes off the roof. But I would say so, but Michael's definitely, sharper to me in this sense.
Yes.
So we get that, and you can talk about the Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait, is the conversation between Vito and Michael, is that before he goes to Las Vegas or after?
It's after.
It's after. Okay. So I'll talk about
Mo Green.
So Michael comes to Vegas and he sees his brother Fredo, who these past few years has been I don't know, just chilling.
He's pretty much so Fredo. They ship Fredo out because Fredo's he's really not that smart.
Fredo.
So Fredo just kind of assistant to this big casino owner, Mo Green.
Yeah, and Mo Green is like a huge dick. He's just he first is very nice to Michael, but towards the end of the scene when Michael wants to buy out his casino, he's just no way, you are not who do you think you are? You know what I mean? And then Fredo takes Mo Green's side, and Michael has a beautiful line Nate, this is Nate's favorite line.
Oh, Michael, man. When Al Pacino says this line, I think I get chills in my body. He looks at Fredo and says, Fredo, I love you as a brother, but never take sides against the family ever again. And just gives him this look like a death look. Yeah. And Fredo just you can see Fredo.
Great acting. What's his name?
John Cazale.
John Cazale.
Yeah,
okay.
So John Cazale acted as Fredo. Man, he killed Fredo. And this particular scene is a foreshadowing, fellows,
of what happens in 2.
Then Godfather 2. Oh my god.
And that's a whole nother discussion.
And I feel like Ford Coppola knew what was gonna happen in 2, so he put this in there. Man, it's a great scene because this is showing us family, friends, relatives. It does not matter. What matters to Michael is getting this business done. In this point, you can tell when he's telling his brother, he's being dead serious.
Yeah. Well, I would say that Michael, family does come first to him, but if his family is going to go against him,
he's not gonna like it.
Yep.
And now we see the turn of Michael, his power. He's not consumed by it yet, but he's definitely starting to feel it. He's starting to feel I am the Godfather.
Yeah, he's feeling the power. And then after this, he comes back to New York, and then he has the conversation with Vito, and then you can talk about that.
Man, this scene, man.
So sad.
So it's in, I guess you would say their backyard. They're just, talking about life, and then it's just a very sad scene. Marlon Brando, once again, kills this scene. He's basically telling Michael the regrets he has. Yeah. Saying, Michael, I never wanted this for you.
So sad.
You just be a lawyer. And, he's just kind of, he's just, sad. He's just, he cannot believe this happened. And Michael's saying, I'm all right. I'm going to bring this family back. He's reassuring his father. Yeah. It's a great scene. Also, there's oranges a lot in this movie.
Yeah, and, I've read that, so a lot of people think that the oranges represent death. Yeah. But, my brother has a point where he said that, because this is his favorite movie, that the oranges represent power. And, it's very interesting because, when
I would say power and death.
Power, yeah, you could say both.
Because you can have power, but you can also have death. With power comes death. I feel.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the scene where Vito dies, but how he dies in the orchard.
Dies.
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
So I guess So we're gonna talk about the death scene of Vito now. This scene, this is so sad because he's in his backyard again,
playing with his
grandson, who's 2 years old. He's running around, and Vito, to scare him, puts an orange peel in his mouth. It's a really lighthearted scene. At first, we're thinking, okay. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, I guess Vito gets a heart attack or stroke, and he just falls down completely. And his son finds him dead. His grandson finds him dead. And then he has the orange in his mouth, though. Yeah. So.
Or not, it's not in his mouth. It's in his hand.
It's in his hand, and there's orange. It's an orange pasture field. Yeah. That scene, and that's the end of Vito itself.
Yeah, but I love how Vito goes out with a heart attack because that's a natural way of dying.
It is. It wasn't he died, got shot.
Exactly. It gives him that more the word God in Godfather, that godly.
Yeah, it's a godly death.
Nobody could have touched him. Yeah,
and no one did touch him.
They touched him, but they could not kill him.
They could not kill him, so he basically died honorable.
Which is really cool. Yeah, I think it's a nice touch that he dies he goes out that way.
And now I guess you want to talk about the funeral scene?
Yeah, at the funeral, his name's Barzini, right? Barzini is he was telling the Tatalias what to do with all the. He was basically the head of all the crap that was going on during the movie. Remember he said something like that?
Yeah, Barzini.
Yeah, and then Barzini like throws a flower on his casket, and he looks at Michael, and like Michael knows that okay, now that my father's dead,
it's my
time. Because like he did not want to go against his father. Yeah. His father just wanted to leave it all behind.
Yeah, and pretty much I would say Michael's waiting for his father, not waiting for his father to die so he could do this. I would say.
Yeah.
And even in
it's sad to say, but it's
even
true.
in Godfather, there's a scene where Michael waits for his mother to die.
Yeah.
Then when we do that review, it kind of connects his.
That's true. Yeah, it does.
He waits for his mother to die to do this act. Now he's waiting for his father to die because Vito doesn't want bloodshed.
Yes.
Michael obviously wants them all gone.
Yeah. Another thing, like, because Michael wants them all gone because of Sonny, and I think Sonny's death is also another thing that makes him into the Godfather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then now his master plan is to kill all the head of the other families of the 5 families.
So they're in the church doing a blessing for their son, Anthony. Or no, the Godfather of...
It's Connie's son.
Connie's son. Connie's son. And you have the priest. He's talking to Michael. They're doing their back and forth, saying, "Do you take the son?" And he keep asking questions. Then all of a sudden he pans back to a shot of all the gunmen getting ready.
Yeah.
The hitman, and then it has the
music. Yeah.
It's just like the music is so suspenseful. It goes back and forth, and then that's it. I mean, you want to talk about?
Yeah, they all get shot down in a super brutal way, like all the deaths in this movie are, which is awesome. And I just love how it cuts from the priest asking him, like, "Are you a man of God?"
Yes.
And he says, "Yes," but like a man of God is not supposed to gun down all these people. You know what I mean? So like, I just love how as this is going on, he's doing all these evil, sinful acts, which is just, it's super cool that they both are parallel to each other. But and then we get to the end scene where Michael is in his house and he talks to... he talks to Carlo.
Yeah, wait, before the Carlo scene, I want to say once everyone's dead, the priest asked Michael one final question, "Do you renounce Satan and God?" Like,
yeah,
and then he said, "I do." And then I'm just like... And then
no, you don't, man.
No, you don't. Oh my god. Okay, now you can tell the Carlo scene.
Yeah.
This is the funniest death I was saying.
Really? Why?
I just find that so hilarious.
They like choke him out of the back.
No,
and he's like
but
kicking.
it's not that though. It's just funny because
he doesn't.
Michael plays like so like nothing's gonna happen.
That's true. Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's all fine." And then
Michael is pissed though. Carlos gonna give him a hug, but Michael's like, "Get out of my face."
Yeah.
So they basically know Carlo's been beating Connie's ass all the time.
Yeah.
Carlos just like, he goes in the car, sits in the front. Clemenza's like, "Hello, Carlos." and then Clemenza just chokes him out.
Yeah. I think it's so and it's so sad because this man is the father of the boy this guy's son is the nephew of Michael Corleone. So
he just rid him of his father.
Yeah, that's so sad. And like Connie finds out, and Connie says like, "Why did you do this?" And he says,
her arms like,
she's beating. Yeah, and
I love the scene. After Connie leaves, they restrain her. Kay comes in, asks Michael.
Yeah, this is the last scene.
Did you do it? What does Michael say? No.
Nope, did not do it.
And then we get to the scene. Finally, they hug it out. They're kissing. Kay's like, I guess, putting water, and you have just the door.
Oh, yeah.
And then Clemenza comes saying God. So they finally accept him as Godfather.
Yep. Give him the kiss on
the... And then you want to talk about the last...
Yeah, last shot. They give him the kiss on the on the hand, and Kay turns, and, like, you know that even though Michael lied to her, she kind of knows that he's lying. Like she mostly believes him, but there's a little bit of doubt, and we get doubt in the last shot of the film when the door closes on Kay, and she just looks, and we hear the door, and then the credits roll.
And I think that scene is reminiscent of "This is my business, that's my family."
Yes, agreed.
So the
definitely
family will never interfere with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
And
movie.
that
really
wraps
the
it
Godfather.
up. Yeah, but and overall, like I remember I watched this a few days, but to get ready for this review.
I did as well.
And like when I was watching it, like throughout, I was thinking, okay, what is this movie really about? What is it trying to tell its audience? And I think the main point, the main theme of the movie is that family comes first.
I agree.
That family, like, no matter what, if somebody messes with your family or people in your family mess with other members of your family, that's not okay.
It's not okay. Especially in the sense this is a mob and people will get killed. I think family is the biggest theme in this movie. Family.
And using the Italian family, but mostly an Italian mob family, really illustrates that
like
point.
The Italian values are definitely portrayed in this movie really well. I think it's not just the values of Italians, just human values. You know, like. No, your family's always gonna be there for you, no matter when. That's what I think Godfather really is.
That's just what it's really about.
I mean, I think this movie is terrific. I mean,
it's also kind of a tragedy.
It is a tragedy in a way, because Michael, the innocent man, he's a great guy, and then he becomes something he's not supposed to become. Sonny dies. Vito dies. Well, Vito dies, but he accomplished everything. Yeah. And it's just really sad to see the fall of Grace. Yeah. The ending, even the ending though, I mean,
it's ominous.
It is ominous. It's not really a good ending or a bad ending. But
it's just kind of It's
what do you say to that ending?
Like, I think
it was badass.
It's not good or bad, but it's badass. I would agree.
Badass. I'll give you that at the ending, but just like this, it's a question mark. The ending.
Yeah, it's really
just a question mark to me.
Yeah, it really just leaves you. You're like, I feel like it's like in life, there's no really good or bad. Sometimes there's no good or bad endings. It's just kind of.
It's kind of like how the Star Wars movies ends, where it's like, what's happening next? But this was more a question. It was like a question mark, and when you see Godfather 2, which I think is a better film than Godfather 1.
After I rewatched Godfather 2 for the review, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so everybody, I just want to say, if you want to watch The Godfather, it's all on Netflix. Yeah. 1 to 3. So we're very excited about this review. I would say I think this is a review we want. It's a long review.
Yeah, we talked for like an hour.
Yeah. We really love this movie.
We're gonna edit out a little bit, so it'll be less than an hour. But we did talk for an hour and 2 minutes.
Please, just give us some Facebook comments. What movies you want next? What we can review.
Anything you guys want. We're here to talk about anything related.
We're also. It's not just about movies. We're here to talk about movie debates. Just about this versus this. Because there's a lot of things going on in our film industry right now that I'm sure all of you want to hear about. Some debating, Oscar snubs.
We definitely will talk about the Oscars.
We will talk about the Oscars, of course. We know it's Oscar season. So yeah. Well. As for me, thank you so much for tuning to Cinema Cantina, and I'm Nate.
I'm Rocky. Thank you all so much, and have a great day.